What's up, YouTube? I know it's been a week. It's been a week now, but it's all good. I've been chilling the whole time I've been out, doing what I'm supposed to do, making sure my two girls are straight. So I took a little week off, but I'm back on. We got to talk. We definitely got to talk. Thank y'all for my new subscribers. Definitely, I hope y'all have been enjoying the videos that I had been posting out. I've posted a lot over time, so if you are enjoying it, cool. Tell your friends about it, family members, work employees, etc. Subscribe, especially if you want to hear logical, common sense information that I'm giving out. Logical, common sense. Again, like I always say, a lot of people are not going to agree to it. They may have their own opinion about certain things, and that's totally fine. I spilled something on my shirt, y'all, so it should be drying up. But definitely I wanted to talk about Jelani Day. That's number one. That's something that we definitely have to discuss. So subscribers, it is kind of early. For the people that got to go to work in the morning, try to catch this video either on your way to work or on your next break, or if you want to wait till you come home. I always like to wait till I come home and catch my favorite bloggers videos, so that I can be more in tune. If you want to wait till you get home to catch this video, that's totally fine. But definitely we got to talk about this Jelani Day. Jelani Day was a very educated black man. He was an educated young black man at that, 25 years old, student of Danville, in Chicago, very smart guy, was a family orientated man from doing research on him. He was just about to become a doctor. I don't know if he was going to become a doctor in a couple of days, but it was soon to be he was going to become a doctor. He was working hard to become a doctor at the age of 25. Very nice looking man. I send my condolences out to his family, his closest friends at the university and outside the university. This is a very tragic situation. Very tragic. It just doesn't make any sense. A college student who doesn't get into a lot of trouble. He's not in any gangs, anything like that. Mama, I'm not gonna say he was a mama's boy, but allegedly from what his mom was saying, looking at a video, he called every day. He called. I guess that's considered a mama's boy, which is nothing wrong with that. But he called every day. He called every day. He made sure he kept in contact with his family, his mother especially. So, I just don't understand how somebody could just up and kill him. For what? He wasn't trying to rob a bank. He wasn't trying to assault anybody. He wasn't trying to rape anybody, do anything like that. The last footage they seen him on was when he was at a convenience store purchasing some things. And he did. He looked right at the camera. You could see him looking at the camera at the last corner store he was in. Corner store, convenience store, whatever the case may be. That was the last of him being seen. Which he was in Chicago. I don't know if it was still in Bloomingdale, Chicago. But he was at a store, and boom, after that store camera of his actual face looking at the camera, that was the last of anybody seeing him. Now pause. From that time, from the time he left out of that store, somebody had to have been watching him. For the information with his body being found and then his car being found 2 miles away from the body, which his body was found in the lake, they already said that's a local area. Cops, whatever the case may be, when they did the little documentary and things like that, that's already a local area where that lake is and where his car was, which was 2 miles. So I'm just going to put 2 and 2 together at this moment here. It had to have been somebody that known that area very well, because why would you drive your car all the way down to a local area that you're not even really going to? That wasn't the place that you was supposed to be. That wasn't supposed to be his destination where he was going. His car was found there. So that's the part that I don't understand. Somebody had to have been watching him or keeping a good eye on him while he was in that store, trying to see who he was. He's, they're not, more than likely they probably wasn't used to somebody like him being in that type of area, maybe. That's what I'm thinking. So somebody was keeping an eye on him from the time he got into that store and looked up at that camera, purchased the things he need, and the time he got out. Somebody was watching him. They had to be. He ain't gonna kill himself, And then his mama said he was a very good swimmer, and then body found in the lake. Somebody that's a very good swimmer is not going to let themselves drown. Remember that. Remember that. Now, you can be a good swimmer and be in the water and so happy you drown from, all the pressure from the water. But for this situation, the way he was found, there was no way he was going to let himself or put himself in that situation. I do believe he was killed before he got thrown in that lake. That's what I think. Autopsy details came out, and when I tell you, I was distraught. I was shocked. I was disgusted. I don't care what color you are. No one's body should be found in the lake the way his body was found. His condition to his body was not good at all. Of course, it was a lot of decomposed. It was a lot of things that were not there. I do not want to get into detail about that because it's very gruesome. It's gruesome to talk about, and I just couldn't imagine being in that situation, or anybody that I know to be in that situation. It's terrible. But in my opinion, I do believe that somebody killed him and then dropped his butt in the lake. It just doesn't make any sense. Why would you want to kill a good, decent, educated man? It seemed like all he was about was school and education and, being around his family and friends. That's all that I got out of it as far as his research. As far as doing research on him. So, yeah, I thought about that for a while. I thought about that for a whole week. And I feel for his mother. His mother, listening to her, seems like she's a very nice woman, very beautiful woman too. They both actually looked alike. Her and her son, they looked alike. They did. I'm just so sorry that happened to her son. And why though? That's what I'm saying. Why? Why would you want to kill him? Because of his credentials? Because that's the only thing that I could think of. Because of how smart he was. See, the thing is, some people don't understand. It could be nothing going on with you. You could have a whole lot of education, and you ain't even got to be in necessarily a whole lot of drama, and people will still find a way to dislike you or to get rid of you. And I think in this situation, that's what it was. He wasn't in any gangs. He wasn't in any altercation with anybody. It just don't make no sense. Then the car was found 2 miles away from the body. Like, why would you think for a minute? Why would you, if he was still alive, why would you park your car 2 miles over there in that area, and then you gonna go ahead and walk this way back the opposite way? Ain't nobody doing that. It just don't make no sense. Somebody that killed him had to have done that. Let me park his car here, and we're gonna put his body here, and then just have people wondering. That's pretty much what I'm getting out of it. So it's crazy. And any of my subscribers, any black man that, is following me, I feel like this is a wake-up call. This is a wake-up call, just to kind of understand and kind of really look into how things are for people. And to me, it's messed up. It shouldn't be that way. This man lost his life for nothing. Nothing. And I honestly believe, you know what I'm saying, he was killed because of his credentials, how educated he was. Or it could have been a random person. A random stranger. But if it was somewhat like a cop or a parole officer, because allegedly they had somebody in mind, as far as dealing with the law. He was like some type of correctional parole officer or something like that. They did have a picture of him stating that it's a possibility he could, know something. And I'm thinking, okay, what do you mean could? He has to know something. If he saw this young man before he died, he knows something. So, they allegedly had somebody in, I don't know, in custody. As far as allegedly that officer being the last, that officer being the last person to see him. And I'm going to tell you something. If that was the last person to see him, you best believe he had something to do with it. He had to. Because if you're looking at the case all the way around, it don't make no sense. Like, it just really doesn't. This man was very well educated. Very well. And this is a wake-up call. This is a wake-up call for the black men, for black men all around the world. Any of this could happen. Any of this could happen to anybody, but we want to prevent that. And I say black men for this situation because for this situation, a black man has been killed and nobody knows what's really going on. Like, it's just so confusing. Like, why is he killed? Why? Why is all this going on? But I did say at the beginning, it doesn't matter what color you are. But I still want the black men to pay attention to this. This is a wake-up call. This is something serious. This young man didn't ask for this. Like I said, it don't matter what color you are. It shouldn't happen to anybody. But in this situation, black men need to pay attention to this. They need to. It just don't make no sense. That young man lost his life for nothing. All he was trying to do was better his education, better his life, better his family's life. And that's a problem? Because you best believe they killed him for nothing. And like I said, I'm not going to get into the details about those autopsy details. That stuff was atrocious. I couldn't believe it. The condition of his body, I couldn't believe it. And, I'm not going to discuss that. It was very gruesome. But it shouldn't have been like that at all. So definitely I wanted to talk to y'all about that. Because that was just crazy. And more than likely, this is probably part 1 of this video. If I get any more information, definitely we'll discuss it. We'll have a part 2, maybe even a part 3. But this is part 1 for now. If I come out with another video on something else, that means no information has changed. So, but yeah, definitely I wanted to get this Jelani Day video out. Rest in peace his soul. Sending condolences out to his family and friends again. Subscribers. It's sad. It's sad. From the time he left that store, what happened? From the time he looked up at that camera at that corner store and left out that store, what happened? That's what don't nobody seem to understand. But like I said, putting 2 and 2 together, somebody had to been watching him from the time either he was in the store or from the time he left out. And then boom, took off from there. And like I said, if it wasn't a complete stranger, meaning a non-officer or parole officer, whatever you want to call him, if it was a person that was not in the law that killed him, you got a rude awakening. If it wasn't. If it, you know what I'm saying? If it was a stranger that wasn't in the law that killed him, they got a rude awakening. Because that karma gonna come back so fast, they ain't gonna know what hit them. Now, if it was a police officer or some type of person that was in the law that had dealt with this Jelani situation, you got a rude awakening too. Because it just don't add up. But it will add up. Bits and pieces are adding up, but it's still not really making sense. But it's adding up. I know one thing. He died for nothing, and somebody killed him. And if it was somebody in the law that killed him, it had to be because of his credentials or how educated he was. Because he wasn't in any trouble. You see what I'm saying? If it was somebody in the law that had something to do with his death, it had to be because of his credentials. Keep that in mind. You have anything else you want to share with me? Comment below. But that's what I think. Now, if it was just a complete stranger that, is not able to have access to pull up, what type of credentials and things he have, and, this stranger was just killing him just to be killing him of maybe what he had or what they thought he had, it could be that too. So, it's whatever the case may be, is crazy. It shouldn't have happened, and this man lost his life for nothing. You guys don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and I'll talk to y'all. Peace.